Do you still find yourself using the phone a lot in selling situations? If you do, that's really good, because I'm still finding that the phone is still our best friend. There's been so much focus on all of the other technologies, whether it's email or social media or Zoom or whatever it is, but ultimately the phone is still a salesperson's best friend. It's really effective for prospecting, and it's really effective for other phases of the sale. So in this video, I'm going to show you 7 absolutely critical keys to sell over the phone. Check it out. Number 1, data is everything. This is really disappointing to a lot of people, and they get really annoyed about this particular idea. But the reality is that if you are making dials to prospects, but the data that you have, the phone numbers or the information that you are calling from, is not really accurate, you are going to be wasting a huge amount of time, and you are going to be banging your head against the wall time and time again. We have, as an organization, we make a lot of dials, and we have found that depending on where we get our data from, that can mean an answer rate of 3%, or it can mean an answer rate of 40%. So the effectiveness of our data is so important, because just getting people on the phone is difficult. So you want to make sure, if you're going to put through the effort of making sure you're getting people on the phone, make sure that the information that you're using to call in terms of the phone numbers is right, and that the information on the actual prospect is accurate. So that way, when you get them on the phone and you start talking about the company that they're at, they're not saying, oh, well, I left that company 3 years ago. Right? You want to have that accurate data. Number 2, hyper-personalize everything. The more we are personalizing our outreach on the phone, the more successful we're going to be. Prospects are so weary of telemarketers. Prospects are so weary of just salespeople who are just dialing all day long. And so what we can do to really stand out is really personalize our message to our prospect, to show them that we know who they are, what's going on, where they are, what company they work at, all that stuff, to make sure that we know exactly who they are. And so that way they're much more likely to open up, because they're saying to themselves, this person's done their homework, I'm willing to talk to them. Number 3, power dial. Power dialers are one of the best pieces of technology for those of us that are making consistent prospecting calls. There is nothing more wonky and slow than having to physically dial a number on a phone. But if you're using a power dialing system that allows you to make dials with your computer, and then as soon as that call ends, you go to the next, that is going to increase the number of dials that you can make in an hour significantly. We have folks on our team that are able to make up to 80 dials an hour leveraging power dialing technology. Most people, it takes salespeople an entire day to make 80 dials. We see people can do it in an hour if it's using the right technology. So power dialers can be a huge piece of leverage. Number 4, don't cold call. So you're saying, wait, isn't this whole conversation about how to make cold calls? No, it's about how to use the phone for sales. Cold calling is old school and unnecessary. You don't have to make a purely cold dial to anyone, because there's other ways that you can reach out to your prospects first in order to start to warm up that relationship. So that way, by time you make that first dial, they're likely to, if they answer the phone, know who you are. So leverage other mediums that are going to allow you to make sure that they actually have an idea as to who you are. Maybe it's email, maybe it's LinkedIn, maybe it's other social media platforms, but leverage other mediums first, so that way you can warm up the relationship a little before you get them on the phone. Number 5, know your script. So you've gone through all this effort dialing many people, and you finally get someone to answer the phone. What do you say? Most salespeople wing it. They don't even have a script in front of them. And it's crazy to me. It's so hard to actually get someone on the phone that, don't you want to make sure that when you actually get them on the phone, what you're saying is on point? Of course. And people always say to me, well, I don't want to use a script because then I'll sound scripted. That's ridiculous. If you sound scripted when you follow a script, it means that you're just bad at reading the script. All it means is practice the script a little bit so you don't sound scripted. Using a script does not mean that you're going to sound scripted. If you sound scripted, it's because you're bad at using a script. Get better at it. You must have a script. I have never seen a top performing salesperson that can make good, consistent dials and not use a script. Period. You have to know exactly what you're going to say when you actually get them on the phone. If only 10% of people actually answer the phone, that means you're doing a tremendous amount of work just to get that person to answer the phone. So make sure that you know exactly what you're going to say as soon as you get them on. So important. Number 6, one call is not enough. Salespeople often just give up on prospects too early. They make one dial, maybe two, and then they give up on the prospect. But the reality is that people don't answer their phones all the time. And there could be a lot of different reasons as to why they're not answering the phone. So if you're only making one dial to each prospect, you're very unlikely to get through to most of those people. You need to make a number of dials over, maybe a significant period of time, but a number of dials over a couple of weeks, trying with different times of day, different days of the week. You never know, but make multiple calls to that same person over a period of time. Number 7, get the next step. So this is really important. The goal of a prospecting call is not to sell the prospect. It is simply to get that next step in place, to schedule a conversation, to schedule that next step. So no matter where you are in the sales process, chances are the focus is not going to be on closing the sale while you're on the phone. It's going to be on getting that next step. So be very clear on what your next step is going to look like and focus on only setting that. The more you can hold sales together with these clear next steps, the more likely you are ultimately to close those deals. So there are 7 absolutely critical keys to sell over the phone. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking my face, which should be right about here, to get access to a new video just like this one each week.